Lifers ain't playing, we be about money, all of it. Chasing that check like it stole some, start running. Lifers ain't playing, we be about money, all of it. Chasing that check like it stole some, start running. Just cop that Chevrolet and put it on skates. MGM grand, all the pounds for like 3 days. Coming up with a plan with my mans, we been down since the high school. Always did a drive.
What's going on, people? So I'm down here in Sandston, Virginia. It's Monday morning. This is the load that I picked up in Milwaukee. And I stopped by the house, picked it up on Friday, stopped by the house Saturday, stayed at home till this morning. Appointment 8 o'clock in the morning. So I get here at 7:40, just like I planned to. Everything's going good. Check in at this facility, or this receiver. You have to be inside the building while they're unloading you. So I go use the bathroom, sit down. I'm in there for like 15 minutes, and the manager who I spoken with, who I checked in with, walks up on me as I'm sitting down and was like, "Hey, so we're done." I'm like, so I'm thinking like, damn, 15 minutes, that's really fast to unload this trailer. This trailer was full. I mean, the pallets were all the way to the back of the trailer. So 25 pallets. Not that it's not possible to unload the truck that fast, but it's not likely and it's rare. So I'm like, then he tells me we're refusing this whole load, the entire load. So I'm like, why the fuck would somebody do that? In my head. But I'm thinking he's joking, because he kind of has like a half smirk on his face. So I look at him, I'm kind of like, kind of crack a smile, like, really? And then it became clear he was dead ass serious. He's like, yeah, we're gonna refuse the entire load, and it's not your fault, because the first thing I thought was, okay, well, this is a meat load. Did the meat go bad? I'm like, well, it shouldn't have went bad. I have the reefer set where it says. Bills say set it at 0 degrees. That's where it's been set at. My reefer tank is just underneath full. I filled it up before I went home on Saturday, so I know the reefer didn't shut off. So I'm like, what the fuck is the issue? This is the first time I've ever heard some shit like this before. But to be fair, it says it right here on the fucking bills. We're refusing this pallet, or this entire load, because the pallets are too tall. On the bills, it says no taller than 64 inches. And like I said, he told me it's not my fault, obviously. It's not Prime's fault. This is the shipper's fault. 64 inches. He said the pallets are 75 inches tall. Now, obviously, not all the pallets are that tall, but, some of the pallets, especially the ones toward the back, apparently were too tall. And I guess here at this facility, they don't want to break down the pallets themselves. So he's like, yeah, we're refusing it. And, basically, like, there's no point in you come back in, because I'm not going to accept it unless the pallets are taken care of. And he suggests that there's an American code storage facility around here that may break the pallets down and restack them. So basically, the only option at this point is for Prime to either find some place for me to take this load where we'll break it down and restack it, or this shit has to go all the way back up to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, to the shipper. Now, I've never heard no shit like this before. This is a first, and hopefully it's a last. I couldn't have known about it. I double checked my messages to make sure that nothing in my messages said anything about making sure the pallets were, X amount of inches tall and no taller than. So I made sure, like, well, I read it. I don't remember seeing anything about that. I double checked my messages. Nothing in my messages say anything about that. But right here on the bills, it says that, which means that they told the shipper, do not stack these pallets over 64 inches tall. And the shipper did so. So now, I'm caught in the middle. This load was paying $1,600. And, hold on, let me do some math real quick. Alright, people. I'm back at you with the second phase of this video. I cut the first part short wasn't planning on it being multiple parts, but I cut the first part short to run the numbers to see what, you know, in the worst case scenario, I would have had to take this load back to Milwaukee to the shipper because the receiver refused it. And, you know, with Prime's rate in this situation, since the load wasn't received, I wouldn't have been paid the $1,600 that I had agreed to take this load for. So I ran the numbers, going by the 39.5 cents that Prime pays its company drivers, about 1,670 total miles round trip in order for me to come down here, which I already did, and go back up there. Would have only paid me $600. So basically, I was on the verge of losing out on $1,000 if that were to happen. I went and got on Facebook after I ran the numbers and stuff, posted to the Prime drivers page as well as the YTT affiliates page to get some feedback from people who have been in a similar situation or have an understanding of how this works. And pretty much what I was told was that, hey, you did your part, which I know, you know, that's why I was upset about it, or frustrated about it, shall I say. You did your part. You brought the load down there. You know, you got down there on time. This is out of your control, which is the same thing that the receiver said. So people were basically saying I'll get paid the $1,600 that I agreed to get paid for, and there's a good chance I'll get paid some detention time as well, which we're gonna get into in a second, because that's gonna be some hella bread if that is indeed the case. So hollered at people on Facebook, got some feedback, and I ended up having to drive 70 miles south, so I didn't have to take the load back to Milwaukee. I'm down here in Hampton, Virginia right now. Got with sales, you know, immediately I called my fleet manager, and he transferred me to the claims department, and then they both got with sales to get the shit situated and resolved. So I was told to drive down here to Hampton, which is where I'm currently at on a dock, except the people went to lunch. I got down here about 11:45, and everybody's going to lunch and won't be back till 1, so I'm just sitting here till people get back. And they told me to bring it down here, and this place will restack the pallets according to how the receiver wants the pallets to be restacked. So that basically the pallets won't be taller than 64 inches. Now, I get down here, and the manager at the receiver told me that, you know, this was a possibility. He said if they can get you to a spot to restack it, then we'll take it. But he also told me that we're not going to be able to get to you today, and more than likely we're not going to have an appointment available for me tomorrow. So now I'm looking at, according to his words, I'm looking at Wednesday, which sucks, because I picked this load up on Friday, and you know, you're talking about sitting underneath a load for 5 days, 2 of which you really can't do anything about because the place was closed on the weekend. So you got to include it because I'm losing money on it. But I mean, really 3 days underneath a load paying $1,600, really not that bad, considering the 3 days is, you know, just over $500 a day, which is what you want to aim for in order to be profitable. Want to make $500 a day. Anyhow, I get back down here. I get down here, and I talked to one of the managers here, I believe he was, and he asked me, he said, "Hey, were you refused at Southeastern's Foods?" And I'm like, "Nah, I was refused at this place called Virginia Distribution." And he was like, "Oh, same difference." You know, he said, "Those guys are assholes." And I'm like, "Oh, really?" He's like, "Yeah, they do this a lot." Now, obviously, with him saying that, they've dealt with several other drivers from Prime and I'm sure many other companies that have been in the same situation, basically saying, you know, need the shit to get restacked so that it's not over 64 inches tall. And to be honest, man, I can't be mad at the receiver. It'd be dumb to be mad at them. It's not their fault. They specified what they wanted to the shipper. It's the shipper's fault. They didn't follow the fucking orders. I'm paying you for well, you know, in their case, they're paying you for this product. I want it to be this way. If you go to a fucking restaurant, McDonald's or something, and order a cheeseburger, and you don't want pickles or onions, you have the right to be mad and give that shit back. So I'm not mad at the receiver for it. You know, I don't understand why you can't just pull this shit off, but they let it be known what they wanted, and they didn't get what they wanted, so they refused it. So now I'm down here, talked to the dude down here. He like, yeah, you know, they're not gonna get to you today, and they're probably not gonna get to you tomorrow. Which basically, he basically echoed the same thing that the manager said. He said, yeah, you're probably looking at getting unloaded on Wednesday. So I'm like, you know, I'm the type of person I want to look at the bright side of the situation. At least I'm in Virginia. So you can bet your ass when they get this shit restacked, and I let my fleet manager and claims know that it's restacked, everything is good to go, I'm hauling ass back home. Now I'm about 160 miles away from home. I am hauling ass right back up the road and going home, because if I'm gonna have to sit for 2 days, damn it, I might as well be sitting at home. I'm only 2.5 hours away from the crib anyways. So that's the second step of this procedure. Got refused for the load being not to the receiver specifications. Had to come down to another warehouse to get this shit reworked and restacked so that the receiver will be satisfied and accept the load. And the third part will be how this shit works out financially, which I will make a video about and let y'all know how that shit works out for me when we get to that point. As of right now, it's looking like I'm not gonna be able to get this load delivered until Wednesday, so I'm gonna be going back home. It's Monday, spending all Tuesday at home, and depending on what time, morning time or afternoon time Wednesday, rolling out Wednesday morning or afternoon to get down there to get this shit finally offloaded and get back to the fucking money. So that's it for this situation as of right now. But I'm gonna keep y'all posted, you know. Keep y'all posted, let y'all know how this shit works out. You know, there's a bright side to everything, so that's what I was about to say about this detention situation. If I am indeed paid detention, we talking about pretty much 2 days worth of detention. And if I got paid $400 for 12 hours of detention, this is gonna be more than worth it. I'm about to go sit my ass at home, and going off the basis of what I got paid detention for my last situation, which was in South Carolina, and the rate's gonna be different and the situation's different, but we talking about 24 to 30 something hours of detention. Talking about damn, going off of what it was for that last situation with detention, talking about $1,200, and I ain't gonna complain about that. I'll sit at home and make $1,200 all fucking day. So anyways, go ahead and end this one, man. Look at the bright side, you know what I'm saying? And it's not always sunshine and rainbows out here, fucking Skittles and sprinkles. You gotta deal with some shit, but more times than not, it ends up working out in your favor, one way or another. I ain't gonna say that happen all the time like that, but more times than not, it's gonna work out in your favor. And if it doesn't work out in your favor the way you may look at it, or the way you may want it to, it's a learning experience, and those are always good. You know, you really can't put a monetary value on learning and being able to adjust to situations due to you going to them before if you encounter them in the future. So anyways, cut this joint off, go back here and chill out. Got my AC cracking because see, I got the cut off sleeve shirt on now. Feel like it's like 70 degrees down here. I don't know what the temperature is exactly, but I'm going back here, post up, man. Till next time, like I said, I'm gonna keep y'all updated on the third step of this process as far as how I'm compensated for this situation that's completely out of my hands. But y'all know what it is, man. Until next time, the grind never stops. It's your man JMV. Do what you gotta do now so you can do what you wanna do later. Stay focused, man. Stay focused on the goal at hand.